Hello, first graders. Mrs. Huff here. Today is our last day where I will be reading aloud a story to you during this school year. I have had so much fun reading to you, and I hope that you have learned some new things about reading in first grade from the stories we've read together. I want to say thank you to my son Tyler and to my son Parker, who both have helped me with recording all of the videos that we've done this spring together. Today, I'm going to read the book to you, Henry and the Buccaneer Bunnies by Carolyn Crimmy. This is one of my favorite books, and I think you will see why. Today, you do not need to respond to my story. Just enjoy. Just sit back and relax and enjoy this funny story. Cruising the seven seas on a crickety old ship called the Salty Carrot sailed a wild, rowdy band of Buccaneer bunnies. They were bad, bad bunnies. All right, when pirates on the other ships saw their long, floppy ears and their fluffy white tails, they shook with fear. The captain of the Salty Carrot was Barnacle Blackear, the baddest bunny brute of all time. Blackear was proud of his wooden paw, his golden earrings, and his mean reputation. What Blackear was not proud of was his son, Henry. Instead of performing his proper pirating duties, Henry was more interested in reading the books the Buccaneers stole from other ships. Here's Henry. There's his books. "Shout, shiver me timbers!" Blackear ordered. "I'd rather finish this chapter," said Henry. "Make this prisoner walk the plank." "Can't I just read about it?" asked Henry. "Find yourself a parrot for your shoulder." "First I need to read up on parrot care," said Henry. "Buccaneer bunnies don't need books," said Blackear. "Toss 'em overboard," he yelled to the other bunnies. "No, wait," cried Henry. "Let me just finish them first." "Avast!" cried Blackear. "Swab the decks until ye come to your senses." And so Henry swabbed the decks day after day while reading some of his favorite books, like Rabbitson Crusoe and 30 Days to Longer Ears. "Bet ye can't learn how to do this from a book," Jean LaHare said while sharpening his hook. Henry sighed and turned the page. "You'll never find booty like this in a book," Calico Jack Rabbit told him, holding up his stolen loot. Henry shrugged and turned the page. "Can't do this with a book in your paw," Bartholomew Bunny said while sanding his peg leg. Henry just turned another page. As much as he loved his books, Henry was a lonely Buccaneer bunny, if ever there was one. Then one morning he looked up at the red sky and wriggled his little pink nose. He heard the parrots squawk and saw fish jumping out of the water. If my books on meteorology are correct, those signs mean a big storm is heading this way, he thought. Henry tried telling Jean LaHare about the upcoming storm. "Excuse me, but I believe a storm is coming," Henry said. But Jean was too busy polishing his pieces of 8. "Go back to your books, Henry." He tried telling Calico Jack Rabbit. "I'm pretty sure a storm is on its way," Henry said. But Calico Jack was too busy admiring his tattoo of cabbage. "Don't bother me now, Henry." Finally, Henry cried, "Batten down the hatches! A huge storm is coming!" "What do you know about storms?" Black Ear demanded. "Get back to swabbing the deck before I make shark bait out of those books of yours." Henry did as he was told, but he kept his little pink eyes on the skies. When he saw the rats abandoning ship, he started packing up his books in empty treasure chests. The storm started small. A few low grumbles of thunder, a spike of lightning, then suddenly a crashing, bashing, thrashing wildcat of a hurricane broke loose. It shook the ship. Suffering sea dogs! It mangled the masts. Great blimey bilges! It slashed the sails, damaged the deck, and ripped up the rickety old salty carrot. All that was left floating on the choppy waters were a bunch of soggy bunnies and Henry's treasure chests filled with books. When the storm finally calmed down, Black Ear, Henry, and the rest of the Buccaneers paddled to the nearest island. "We're ruined," wailed Black Ear. "No ship, no pieces of 8, no gems." He sat in the sand and blubbered like a lily-livered landlubber. But Henry got to work. The first thing he did was build a 2-story hut out of palm fronds and coconuts. "How did ye learn how to do that?" asked Black Ear. "I read it in 101 Things to Do with Palm Fronds and Coconuts," replied Henry. Next, he built a fire and cooked up a tasty seaweed stew. "Blimey," said the hungry bunnies. "Where did you learn that?" "I found the recipe in Quick and Easy Meals for Marooned Pirates," said Henry. Then he made them all fetching garments from the bits and pieces he had salvaged from the shipwreck. "We look like gentle bunnies, we do. What swank swashbucklers we are. Arr! And it's all from them land-lubbin' books," said Black Ear, shaking his head. Henry taught Black Ear and the Buccaneer bunnies all kinds of useful things, like how to plant carrots, make the best sandcastles, and build boats out of palm fronds. Soon they built a new ship, which they sailed to the library at the nearby Easter Islands every summer. Here the bunnies spent many happy hours slurping seaweed stew and reading books. "Aye, Buccaneer bunnies will always read books," said Black Ear. Henry just smiled and turned the page. I hope you enjoyed our book today. One of the reasons I love that book is because it shows you all the incredible things you can learn just from reading a book. Thank you so much to listening to all of my stories. I hope you enjoyed today's story. And like I said, you don't have to reply today to the reading. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. I hope you just got to sit back and enjoy one of my favorite books, Henry and the Buccaneer Bunnies. Have a wonderful summer, all my first grade friends, and I cannot wait to see all of you again in the fall when you are second graders. Happy summer!